welcome. I'm Astrologer Val Evans, and in this show, we are looking at the charts and cards for Duchess Meghan Markle and her new Netflix show with Love Meghan. The word love and family are Leo words, so it makes sense that it would be a show title for the Duchess. We will be reviewing with the members the start time of the show, which was yesterday, and analyzing it as you would a job chart when you first start a job and how it reveals your relationship with your boss, your coworkers, your partners, your customers, your critics, and the overall success of your venture. I'll also be reviewing some start dates for lifestyle mavens Martha Stewart and Gwyneth Paltrow, owner and founder of Goop. But first, real quick, breaking news, bombshell new evidence about the Idaho 4 case was just released. I don't know if you guys heard about it. We have been talking for some time, years now, about a potential group of perpetrators, and I'll be on later, probably tomorrow night, to talk about this. But the defense in the Brian Koberger case is coming forward and claiming that there are 3 different types of DNA found underneath the fingernails of one of the victims. So, and then tonight I'm going to be talking about weather predictions. So, a lot of big cluster in the sky right now. Looks like we've got some serious weather already coming in, but is it over? I don't think so. And we're going to be looking at the job charts today. And you can find out more information on how to break down your job chart to see if it's going to be helpful to your career and what's going to happen, making all the predictions in months and years to come. And there it is. There is the headline: Idaho murders trial rocked by curveball DNA evidence found under the fingernails of victim who was brutally stabbed to death. We're going to talk about that. I'll have a notification that comes up. So if you're not a subscriber, you want to make sure to subscribe to get the notifications. And this is a recent show I did with criminal defense attorney Bruce Kay. Bolt the door. There's 2 more. And we've known for some time that there seems to be more than one perpetrator. So far, they've only told us that Brian Koberger is the only perpetrator and that he acted solely on his behalf, but don't know if that's true or not. So I'm going to welcome everybody first. Let's see who we have on here. Face painter, glad you could join us and become a member. Thank you for doing that. And Brenda's here. Great to have you on. Angel, nice to see you. Jen, met Elizabeth. Is it Medi? Deborah, good to see you. And thank you, Angel T. And so, yeah, we need as many likes as we can. I think I'm close to 13,400. So it's going back and forth. I need a few more. So would love your help. Just hit the subscribe button and get upcoming notifications. So I don't know if any of you remember these types of covers from the National Enquirer, pitting 2 women together. Well, it's kind of like, I shouldn't say this, but the universe is not unique. It's just constantly giving us the same themes over and over, just different people. So we're seeing that a lot with different females, especially in our current times. But I thought I would show you this old cover of Martha Stewart and Rachel Ray. So we're going to be seeing probably some of this with the press and Meghan Markle's critics, pitting her against other lifestyle mavens and creating drama, of course. So, Deborah, you said, I hope BK is innocent. His hometown isn't far from me. My general theory is that he was involved somehow, but we'll have to break that down probably Thursday night, and that's March 6th. So I don't know if any of you have broken down a job chart before. It's pretty fun to see what's really happening with your job, who's who, what's going on, what the boss is doing, what the boss is thinking. So you can find out all that information. I hope you like my background. I feel like being in California today. I love La Jolla. It is so much fun. I wish I was there now. All right. So this is Martha Stewart's, I'm going to call it a job chart, but this is when her company went public in 1999. Now, let me just make this a little bit bigger for you. God, Scorpio rising, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. It's called the burnt path. It's just coming out of the burnt path. It's kind of it's not an easy chart. But she would become, even though it isn't an easy chart, she would become a billionaire from this chart. But you can just see so much red and a lot of people fighting her, not liking her success, trying to bring the brand down, and particularly bullies, people who are kings. Not only does that show her 10th house there, we look at the 10th house for someone's career, and here it is up here. It's right on Regulus. So she would be seen as the queen. But at the same time, you can see that the 10th house is also the government too. So the government is really going to give her a hard time. Whoops. And there's that T square there. So that's going to really kind of hurt this chart. So got a lot of people here. And what is Sagittarius? That's court. So going to court, it's not going to be as successful as they want. But this is all aimed at the 10th house and really tough. When you've got oppositions with Virgo or Leo, or any type of poor aspects like a square, it means critics and bullies. So she was having to deal with that. If anyone has seen her Netflix show, it's amazing, her Netflix documentary. So keep in mind, though, you're seeing a lot of Aquarius. Neptune had just come into Aquarius at this point. And so we're getting into the next century, showing a lot of futuristic, visionary type of energy there. And let's see, what else did I want to mention? With Scorpio there, this is a betrayal. And that's exactly what happened to her. Her friend, who she was with and vacationing with, ended up helping the government and testifying that she knew about the insider trading that she was being accused of. She knew she was doing it, and she said that she had overheard her on the call with her broker. So you were definitely going to see that betrayal theme. It's usually betrayals, though, when you see, especially the T square, but and it also how shocking it would be because of basically Aquarius there also shows an interruption of your brand, but she came out on top in the end. All right. One thing I wanted to add too was, hey, CRE Design. Thanks, Jen. And let's see. Yeah, so look at that, Uranus and the moon. This is a visionary, a famous visionary. It's also, I mean, you could think of probably at least 10 different themes that the moon and Uranus would kind of describe. And it's very quick, it's very fast. Things go way up. And that would be the stock for Martha Stewart. But also just a famous visionary. That's what I like to look at it as. Um, and just kind of being able to see trends way ahead of time. So that's what I'm getting from Martha Stewart's job chart here. Now, you can actually take your solar return, take the solar return for your job chart and read it. So for her, this is the job chart's 2003 chart for Martha Stewart, her solar return, and this looks pretty bad. The MC, this is when she was accused of insider trading. This was the year, and indicted. And so was she indicted in 2003? the whole prosecution, the trial began this year. And so the MC, again, still in the Leo range, but it's at the 15th degree, which isn't great. It's not a great degree. Also, check out the opposition. This is like the downfall of the chart, and that would be Neptune. Neptune is jail. And look at this T square right to the ascendant. The ascendant is your name, it's your identity, and usually with a square, and this is why I talk about this with Prince William sometimes, because I always see a square with him and Neptune. It shows that something vanishes, like it just goes away. And so for a time, her brand, she would just have to dump it. She was hiding. She was being prosecuted, and then I think she did less than a year in prison. So it was 7, 8 months, something like that. But very, very difficult time for her. But interesting too, how you see that Venus in this year. You would know if you saw this chart that there would be a female that would betray her because of the squares. All you got to do is look for the red. Red with Scorpio, that's going to be somebody who betrays you that year. And very difficult. Also, Mercury rules her friend, and Mercury is here in the 12th house. And so she knows all the secrets. Friend knows the secrets, and she would be talking Mercury in court, Libra. So Libra and Sag both mean court, but yeah, you can see a lot of Sag with her job chart that we just saw. But that would also mean Sagittarius always means Netflix too. So definitely it would be in the future, many, many years in the future, it would be a Netflix documentary. All right, we're going to get to Meghan Markle in a second, but I wanted to look at the Goop newsletter for 2008. This is when the lovely Gwyneth Paltrow decided to just start writing about what she knows. She's well traveled, she knows all this stuff. She's always telling her friends. So why not just make it a little newsletter and it becomes a big hit, I think it's $1 billion brand. And so this is her chart here. Libra's always interesting to me because it shows the beauty industry. And also the 12th house, you're going to see the 12th house a lot in these types of job charts because the 12th house is the secrets and being able to dip into the secrets and telling them to everyone else. So you can see that that's happening here for Gwyneth. She's talking about everything. She talks to beauty experts, and then she just comes out and talks about them, and she makes money from it. Second house, and her second house for this job chart would be Pluto. So let's see here. Where's Pluto? Pluto is over here. And you could see a trine to part of fortune. So this isn't just fortune. Now, not to say that she's doing so great right now. I think she has to lay off some employees, but I think she'll be okay. I looked at her solar return for this job chart, and it looks a little dicey, but she can do it. Pluto trines part of fortune here. And this isn't just success. This is massive, massive success, financial success. And also Pluto can mean investments. So there are, rounds of funding you're going to hear with Goop, lots of investing, and she just gets a lot of support in that way. Also, one other thing you might want to check out is Gwyneth also has that Uranus moon combination. It's in Pisces for her, but this is like basically creating a fantasy life, but being a visionary in what people consider maybe a fantasy. Maybe also having secrets that are visionary. She certainly talks about provocative things, that's for sure. But there could also be things that have to do with sleep and healing and that type of thing. And it is trining her MC here. So it's not perfect, but in the 5th house too, that represents having fun, family. It's a Leo house, so it's very, very positive for her. And you could see that this would be a big success. Also, so much of that Aquarius there yet another visionary. Remember, Martha had Neptune right in the beginning of Aquarius. Now she's coming in, and Neptune for her is coming into the end of Aquarius, but she's still being seen as a visionary. Both of them had a little trouble with Pluto and Scorpio, and this is just people being jealous. And also keeping in mind that Gwyneth, look at that Leo up there and that opposition. She would most definitely be bullied online, Aquarius. So when you have that opposition or a square with Leo, there's going to be some kind of bullying going on. And it can be very, very difficult when you're a female owner of something that is very, very successful. So there it is. And so let's take a look at Megan's bosses. This is the chart for yesterday. It was 8 a.m. and I assigned the location as London because that's when it dropped. And so the sun is in the 12th house. So this can show that you don't really see her boss. You're not going to see her boss around her or anything like that during her working hours or when she's working, but he's there in the background. And there's something Piscean about him. Maybe he's a narcissist. Maybe he could like to drink. Maybe he likes her cocktail recipes. Could be sometimes the person can be homosexual, but whoever he is, whoever this person is of authority, is in her Meghan Markle's 12th house. Usually they're only like the poor side of Pisces when there's like a square, when there's that or an opposition, the red line. But a very creative person. And also, Pisces is film, so also interested in film. So this could be somebody who heads up Netflix. And it's squaring Jupiter in uh, Gemini. So this is kind of interesting because this is kind of crazy. Jupiter represents Harry. So there could be some kind of, what's the word? This is her immediate boss. I'm not sure who it is, but they don't really want Harry coming in there, at least this particular boss. And why I'm laughing at this is because you would also look at the Lord of the eighth and the eighth house. These are the top level bosses. So Jupiter also represents her bosses or a group of bosses. So interesting how the CEO is Greg Peters. So that's two first names, which would be a Gemini type of energy. And so then you've got this square to the sun. The sun could also be Megan because, it is her chart. It is the brand's chart. But maybe simply that the square to the sun is that this person doesn't really talk about uh, the production, doesn't really want to know what's going on in the background. There is a lack of communication somewhere, and that's that square with Gemini. Okay, so I had to say with the hiding part, can you believe how many planets are in the 12th house? This is lots of secrets, lots of, just people who are maybe doing their own thing. You don't see them. This is a lot of people. And this is a lot of foreign people too. There are people from foreign lands, 12th house. There could also be some plans to maybe do things in a foreign land, maybe take a trip and film somewhere else. So that's a possibility. Also, keep in mind, too, that the ascendant for her, for this chart, for Meghan Markle, is at 28 degrees. Now, for Gwyneth and for Martha, it was a little bit closer to the middle of Aries. Hang on one second. Sorry about that. Very noisy neighbors. Uh, Thank you, Angel D. Inga's here. Yeah, I don't know why I said CR Design. It's Inga. And I hope you're doing great, Inga. What is the weather over there like for you? That's what I'd like to know. It's pretty dicey in the east. Texas is okay for now. It's really breezy, lots of retrograde energy. So, all right. So, wow, I've got 72 watching. This is cool. So, we are looking right now at Meghan Markle's chart. These are a lot of people hiding. Now, this could be behind the scenes support, but it could also be spies. And it could also be hidden enemies. So they're all kind of mixed in there. And it's hard to tell who's who because Neptune's in there. So it kind of mashes everybody together and you don't know who's who. It's hard to trust in this chart, in my opinion. So you got to be kind of careful here. With Venus in retrograde, it kind of looks like there's maybe some gossiping behind the scenes that you can't see, little secrets that are being told, but it's Aries. So this person could have like an Aries name, like could be a German name, or could have a slightly red tint to their hair, or be just a plain old redhead. But if I were talking to Megan, I'd say, watch this person. And that person actually might make Megan kind of mad. There's also a possibility that maybe somebody might get hurt. They're cooking, they're doing stuff with heat. That's Chiron. So got to be careful of what you're doing in that kitchen. Beautiful kitchen, by the way. Did you guys see it? I saw most of the documentary or the show, I should say. And I thought it was bright. I thought it was, it's kind of a template. I don't know if you guys have seen other shows like that. Georgina Rodriguez is one that was really popular, and you didn't really see her husband that much in that first series, that first, what do you call it? The first episodes. But once they came back around, it was a whole new season. That's what I'm thinking of. Then he started to come in, Georgina's husband, the soccer player. And then it got really, really popular. And I wonder if they're going to try to do that here, where she's doing her thing. You see a little bit of Harry, but then maybe they'll renegotiate to have him in. I know they've already gotten an upfront fee, but maybe there's still room to negotiate. Okay, so there's that female. Who is that female? I think we should draw some cards for this little group here. These are spies. These are spies, yet they could also be film people. They could be very creative people as well. Sometimes you don't want everybody to see your crew and your team. Jen, I like the show. It made me nervous that she was wearing white while cooking. I know. I thought that was funny. I laughed about that, but I thought to myself, I do the same thing. So, Jen, you had a blizzard this morning in the Midwest. Oh, I hope everything's okay. And yeah, I wondered if you have a generator. That I guess you in the Midwest you would have to. All right, so let's go over to the cards here and let's see who some of these people in the 12th house are for Meghan. And I want to say this could be for 2025. For the first, I guess they've already filmed the season. So, but between now and this next year for 2025, who are these people in the 12th house that Meghan needs to know about? That'd be weird if we got one of those girls with the red hair. Okay. So this is a female, definitely a California girl, somebody from California. And maybe she feels as if she doesn't have creative freedom because that's what that card is, not having freedom when it's reversed. Let's see. Maybe I can get a clarifier card here. We have generators here. There are power outages, though. Yeah, lots of power outages. Okay. All right. 2 of Cups. So it could be somebody who Meghan maybe considers a partner. So she just has to be careful not to be too trusting. And also, I think it's something that you have to do when you're a celebrity. You have to sort of test the secrets and see if they're going to come out or not. But she has a lot bigger problems, I think, than who's in the 12th house. And I'm going to tell you that in a second. All right. I'm so excited that StreamYard has this new way of me getting to my slides. So I'm not fishing for them anymore. It's so nice. Now, so what you're going to do for the job chart is you're going to look at the ascendant of the time you started your job, and that's what's going to identify the chart ruler. So for Megan, that's going to be Mars in Cancer. Not necessarily the best thing, but it's not retrograde. So that's really good. And doesn't it make sense that Mars is in the fourth house of home and Cancer represents kitchen? So she is in the kitchen in this in this job that she has. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to try to find in your chart where the chart ruler is, and it's going to show you the profile of your job. Okay. And now here is the other thing you're going to look at. You're going to look at the first house. This is how everyone sees you. It is your appearance. You might have gardening clothes on, which would be Taurus. You might be talking about food, thinking about thinking about the future, being futuristic, being visionary. And of course, the moon in the first house is somebody who is famous. Not to mention that, and if I've already mentioned this, Uranus and the moon are conjunct, just like the other charts, just like Martha Stewart and Gwyneth Paltrow. But it's even stronger in the first house for Meghan Markle. It's just a very famous person who is online too. A lot of stuff online, and there's going to be a lot of things that are happening. It's so kind of crazy how this worked out. When she did her trademark, it was just for, I think, food and was it food and honey, or I guess that's food, something else. What else is she selling? And it wasn't for clothing. But then she comes on to this show and everybody wants to know what she's wearing. So she doesn't have a choice. She's going to be attached to clothing brands. So it's okay because it's not her business. It's fine. But isn't it funny how people are going to see her first house in the garden? Uh, and also, they're going to think that she's very, very wealthy because she's walking out, she's sitting down on her patio, it's overlooking the beautiful mountains. So, this is a very famous, wealthy woman who's in the garden, and you see her all over online. Now, for you, look at your first house, see how people see you. And it's not just the first house, though, it's also the first house Lord, which we just looked at, and that would be Mars. So people are seeing you in the kitchen and also giving secrets too. Yeah, so you can see that there is, let's see here. I'll have to get to it later. But we'll look at Mars and how I think there's a mini grand trine in there showing that it looks pretty good. It looks like this could be a hit. But oh, there's some problems, and they're coming up in this next solar return chart. So I wanted to get your thoughts on it. All right. And of course, Taurus means moolah. So people think you're rich, but you also are going to be rich from this job. So she's going to do quite well for herself. Okay. Now, with the job chart, this is Duchess Meghan Markle's job chart for With Love, Meghan, the show. And you can see that Jupiter is always the husband. So in the second house, there's going to be a wealthy husband. Second house is wealth. And so that's also going to help her financially. Now, when you see this in your job chart, you can also get kind of a hint on how you can make money from your job. And I mean, it's no surprise. If she constantly incorporates her husband, Jupiter, Jupiter also represents children, and children usually over 6. So that will also bring, everybody's going to be really curious about the kids. That will also bring in money. Jupiter also represents teaching. So teaching something, which she's doing. She's showing very small Gemini details, very little things that you can do to create fantasy with, a spread when you're entertaining. So a lot of entertaining, a lot of small details. And she really has the talent. So it's good that she's putting that out there. I know this is going to drive some people nuts that I say that, but this channel is not for trolling celebrities. It's really just to look at what's going to happen ahead for them. So these are the good things that I'm seeing in this chart. And so the more that you can incorporate, obviously, Prince Harry, the better. But I would also like to see her teach Italian or like an Italian type of, food, some kind of recipe. So twins, something about twins. Maybe there's something that's like, maybe it could be a twin project, or, she does everything in twos, or, well, a group too, keeping in mind she's doing things for groups, and that's also Gemini. I don't know if you know any Geminis, but they love to have company. They love to just connect with people and socialize. They are the socializers of the zodiac. Socialites. Okay. So wealthy husband. Okay, so there's the chart. Oh, this is what I wanted to show you. This is without the aspects, but take a look. This is her job chart. Check that out. Like that's pretty good. You even in Mercury shade, you can get a good chart. So look at all these secrets, and she's got she, she might have something that has to do with like an alcohol brand that might be coming out. Maybe that's one of the secrets. So there is the chart ruler, and this is her show. It will become massively famous. I wonder if somebody told her to launch it when the moon was in Taurus, because the moon loves Taurus. Okay, this is the sixth house. This is her job. And I don't know if you noticed the surroundings of her set, but it was very Virgo, lots of attention to detail. And there are a lot of kitchen things, a lot of things like the fridge, but everything was very clean. So a lot of perfectionist types of things. It's the job of the perfectionist in a sense. If you want to perfect something, this assignment that she's taken on has something to do with perfection. The problem with it is it's still Virgo, so there's going to be a lot of criticism here. Okay, so I am going to go back. Actually, let's look at where Mercury is. The critics are back here. And I think they might know they might know Prince Harry. So in the background, maybe something's going on where um, there's secrets being told. Let me see here. The South Node, though, the South Node can represent a coworker. Your sixth house, that's your coworker. And so with the South Node in there, that can be somebody who is spiritual. And I don't know, has there been anybody who's come on that's spiritual? Not yet. Just an actor and a chef. But we'll have to see who that is. We have a little bit of a problem, though. And that is, okay, this is not 2026 yet. That's the next one. But look at Black Moon Lilith here. This is extremely difficult. And Pluto, this is something that is extremely evil. Okay, this you can see Black Moon Lilith. It is right on the seventh house. Now, what does the seventh house represent? It represents the employment contract, and it represents partners and customers. So it seems like that group of people with this square to Pluto, you can see this a lot in Trump's chart. This is wanting to get revenge. So there could be this just a clash of doing things constantly to sabotage. And the good thing is that there are blue lines right here. And there's a success here. There's a success in the 3rd house. So I'm wondering, there's gonna be some kind of good, positive outcome from working with some of these partners. I wonder if it's a Black Moon Lilith type, like a really sexy girl, or it doesn't seem like it's on brand for her, but it does look like somebody is coming out here for her. Oh, we're gonna have to pick a card. Who is this Black Moon Lilith person? It's not necessarily a female, but it could be somebody who wants revenge, who maybe they see a lot of times you'll see this when you have so much success, and then the past partners, maybe they feel like they could have been part of it, but now they're not, and they get upset, and they want to create some kind of chaos. And so let me see here. Let's pull a card for Megan. Who is this Black Moon Lilith? I know it is. It's so busy. Everybody wants to see what she's doing. Face painter. I saw a post of all her Instagram stories, and the views are in the millions. Love her or hate her, everyone is engaging. Her show is number 8 here in the Netherlands. Oh, that's good to know. Megan does seem to take influence from other people, in my opinion, kind of copying, in my honest opinion. Yeah, they all have been accused of that. I wonder what Gwyneth thinks of it all. She probably isn't too concerned, I guess. Yeah, Jam, thank you. All right, so who's the Black Moon Lilith type who wants revenge? It looks like it could be mutual with that opposition to the ascendant. The ascendant is the name, though, too. There could be people constantly giving her a hard time about the name of the brand or the name of the show. But who is this Black Moon Lilith that Megan has to deal with? Oh, it's a thief. 7 of Swords. Somebody's taking something or trying to take something. And could we get a clarifier for that? Ace of Wands reversed. Okay. Somebody who maybe Megan has come in contact with or had a relationship with and maybe isn't doing so well. And wants, I don't know, maybe some kind of revenge. Pluto is definitely revenge. We are seeing so much revenge in this chart. Yeah. Is it the name she said her family goes by Sussex? That was a big statement for her. I guess she does not want to be associated with William and Catherine, but everyone was quick to jump on that since technically it is Windsor, or is it Mountbatten Windsor? Could be your sister, yeah. So we're going to talk about that. Maybe a powerful man, yeah. Yeah, because 7th house this is really, really strong because Black Moon Lilith is right on that 7th house cusp. That is super, super strong. All right. So definitely that is something that we're going to have to keep an eye out on. All right. So now what I'm going to do is, the other thing that I love about this chart is that the success is so good. She might actually be getting some success from this person. And maybe, maybe by proxy, she's getting success somehow. Maybe all of the, it's kind of like Alexis Carrington and the other one. It's kind of like that type of energy, Crystal Carrington. So, all right. So this is the 2025 chart. And I also like that Harriet is in the middle of this and really helping. And also, Libra's in here in the 6th house. This is court matters. So it seems as if, I think after all is said and done, both of them, but especially Prince Harry, is pretty astute with court matters. That's what this is. So he could be helping her while she's being able to, entertain and do all the creative stuff and doing the production of her show. He might actually be helping her there with court matters and, of course, money. All right, this is what I have. This is the 2026 solar return chart. This is March 4th, 2026, the job chart for Megan. And so interesting, the ascendant is in the royal sign, astrological sign of Leo. So we're going to look at where the sun is. And the sun is right up here. The sun is in Pisces. Hang on one second. Okay, so we look at the sun first. This is the job chart personality, and the sun is here in the ninth house, trining Jupiter here in the 12th. So this is her husband. Her husband, for some reason, is hiding. He's in the 12th house. You don't see him. He could actually be abroad. They both could be abroad. I think there's some, with all that ninth house and some 12th house there, I think they might be taking Netflix abroad. It's possible. But the one thing that I'm seeing here is the fact that the fifth house of family is in Scorpio. And this is a jealous family. So we're going to look at Pluto and see where that is. And it's in Aquarius, which would be online. And let me show you how it opposes the chart. And look at how, I mean, it's either a jealous family, her family, or it could be people who want to deal. It looks like there's a need for money. There could be a need for money here. There's Venus right here. Venus, Neptune, and Saturn right here. Now, if there are trines and it's her job chart, well, then this could be very good for her. This could mean that people are going to try to take you to court, but you're going to be fine. And your lawyer, Saturn is your lawyer, could be a fiery type because Saturn is in Aries, could have reddish hair. Not sure what that could be. It looks like could be something that is fake. That could be the word when it comes to the ninth house of court. And already her brother has come out saying that she's making things up about her childhood. So there could be those accusations that are going back and forth. So as far as her chart for 2026, I still think it could be a really good chart for her, but she is going to have to deal with the low lifes coming out of the woodworks, wanting money. And how do I know that there's a low life in the family? Well, you've got Black Moon Lilith at 8 degrees. Black Moon Lilith, you make sure you spot where that is in your job chart or any chart where that is, where that matters. And look at how there's this nasty T square here, which is the orange triangle. And this is Netflix. This could be somebody trying to get a Netflix type of gig and cannot, like some kind of a project, and is very, very upset about it. They feel entitled because they have some kind of association with Meghan. And so, but it seems like they're really blocked here in the ninth house of court. So I would say to Meghan, it's going to happen. Don't worry about it. You're going to be fine. And also, yeah, Mars rules her career here. So it's here. There's so much good, um, I guess, association with her husband here because those blue lines, he's really helping her. It's just this bad person that she's going to have to deal with for a little while. Now you're going to look at the second house, see how the money is for that year. And where is the sun? Sun's up here. Uh, hmm. Hmm. I don't know. There might be a change here. It looks like there's a change because not only of the T square, which is kind of like a stop, something tries to stop, but if you look at the seventh house of the contract itself, it's in Aquarius, which means to change. So we're going to have to look at Uranus. And Uranus is up here in the 11th house. And we have this sextile to Venus and a trine to the moon. This is definitely a change. somebody's angry about it though. It could be somebody getting left out, which is this person, because you could see that red square there going to Uranus. It's like, bam, you're out, but we're going to change. We're going to do this. And it's making somebody very angry. This could be one of the top bosses, the eighth house. Could have something to do with some of the funding, because the eighth house is the funding of your contract. So they might have to dump something, some type of, well, if we do this, we're not going to be able to give you the 10 million for that kind of thing. So that could come up just a little bit here, but on the whole, and in the 11th house, this is an ascent so high. It is a very, and look at that Uranus with the trine to moon again. So famous visionary online. She's doing great. I would say these Mars and Pisces types are probably, they could be other angry influencers, because that's a lot of Pisces there. So she's going to be working with influencers. Influencers are going to see what she's doing. There could be some people who are jealous. That's a possibility. A lot of jealousy with the Pluto here. But Pluto's still working for her. Look at how, my God, look at this. This is like you only dream of a Pluto trine the moon. This is super famous. This is off the chart famous. And you can see there is a kite here. It is something taking off. Ninth house, it's marriage. So she doesn't have to worry about that. It could be, maybe there's, let me think here. Well, let's see. Let's look at the sixth house, the job itself. Saturn is up here. Probably returning to some place that they like, and it could be in a foreign place. It could be a coastal place. I wonder if they're gonna, for the next season, maybe they're gonna be in Spain and their house will be ready, and that's where she's gonna film. So that would be something you could see from this chart, I think. Thank you, Angel. Uh, Yeah. Oh, Marsh to Meadows. As a former chef, nothing influencers, chefs, bloggers, etc. put out is original. Why would anyone be concerned with what Gwyneth thinks? I think a lot of people are concerned. Oh, about, well, I guess we kind of wonder, because it does affect what her publicist is going to say. Those sources, those secret people who come out and say, someone from Gwyneth, the unnamed sources will come out. I think it's probably, um, there is like a party, or it's a conference for the really A-list people. And I think Meghan went to it last time, and she wasn't really, from what sources said, embraced by the group. There was the Jessica Albas, the Gwyneth Paltrows, what's her name from the legal comedy movie, the really big one, Reese Witherspoon, those types all together. So I think, you're going to look at competition just like anybody else would. You're going to wonder what they're up to. And there has been behind the scenes talk about some copying with amongst all of them. So there's always something. There's always drama. All right. Hey, Shauna. Okay. She was at Jessica's birth. That's right. She was at Jessica's birthday party. They are friends. I think there's plenty of room. There is plenty of room for the A-list mommy blogger. And everybody has their own skill set. And I got to say, Meghan, she has a skill. She has that gift for detail, and very creative detail. She's probably going to come up against the types of critics that Martha Stewart used to have, when so many people, they'd go on Oprah and they're like, when do we have the time to do that? But what Meghan is doing is she's kind of doing a semi-homemade type of thing. And then she's selling things that cut the time in half for people. So you don't have to make the flower sprinkles, you can buy them. So that's kind of like, I think, her strategy. And think she's gonna be doing pretty well, but that ninth house is packed. There's gonna be a lot of fake stuff. Ninth house is also PR. So we're gonna be seeing some things, some criticism, I think, especially with God, look at all those influencers. Now that I look at it, my God, let me show you. Um, Look at this. These are all influencers here. They're all in the ninth house. And I mean, what I will tell people is if you see something like this, these are people who are threatened, and that means you're good. So chill out. You're going to be fine. But it does look like there's some people who are threatened, especially because of Black Moon Lilith there. Hmm. Could be an alcohol brand. Could be they're always going to say that the influencer is stealing something. Mercury retrograde here. Yeah, with all of the oppositions here, when you get Mercury in any kind of if you see any red line to Mercury, it's usually being seen as a thief or there's going to be some kind of copyright problems. And you're already seeing that right now as a hint of what's to come. So I think we're probably going to see that again. So the court, the copyright issues, and the kind of the jealous sort of people like the family, that's gonna come in, but all in all, I think this venture is gonna be worth it. I really do. Jen, I know, me too. I like the concept of quick and pretty easy ways to glamour up your lifestyle. You know what I did? Like, you guys are gonna laugh at this. Whenever I needed balloons, I would go and buy them and, the kind with helium in them, and so she did that whole balloon thing. I'm like, "That's all I need to do. I don't need to get helium in the balloon." So I thought that was a great trick. Most of you probably already know that, but I didn't know that. Uh yeah, maybe they're not stealing each other's content, they're upcycling, yes. Oh, that's great. That sounds very glamorous. As long as Megan doesn't create any specifically scented candles. I know, seriously. So, yeah, she is gonna have to do that. Now, one thing you could do going into your, chart, your job chart, which is what we're looking at, you can come up with strategies like, all right, we know these people are coming in. So, what should we do to prepare for this? And so, obviously, have a really good lawyer, which you can see she has one. Um, there's a only a little trouble when you have Saturn conjunct Neptune. This is a lawyer that uh, it's possible they like appear and disappear. It's hard to get in touch with them. Um, but they can also make things disappear too. So they can, write off, they can do whatever they do in court to make things go away. So the ninth house, in a way, is very good. If she is to be aware of anything, it would be the fact that Pisces is video. It's video, it's photos. So just to be extra aware of what you're using because some people might come out and say, "Hey, that was my photo," whatever. But, I think it's gonna be a great idea for them to go abroad if they do that. So we'll have to see what happens. And so I'm gonna, go back to my cards. Anything you guys want to ask? And also, I'm going to start doing some shows where you can just ask any question about your life, and I'll help you out with the cards and the charts too, if we have enough time. But uh, is there something going on in the court for Meghan? She's going to need to know about in 2026, starting March 2026, going to March 2027. Give us a little bit of a hint of what Meghan Markle's going to have to deal with when it comes to the ninth house. Five of Swords reversed. So that could actually be good. This is somebody who, I mean, if it's upright, that would be regret. But maybe trying to move on with something. Maybe one of her partners is trying to move on. Let's see if we can get a clarifier card. This is the moon. This could be a female. And this is maybe another mother or somebody who's famous. What's the profile of Meghan's biggest enemy in 2026? King of Pentacles. Oh, we should, you know what we should do? We should look at the chart to look at Harry's family. I should have done that for her solar return. Maybe we could do that on Friday with Amber. But yeah, I think it was in Portugal, their house. Mhm. So the King of Pentacles, this is somebody with a lot of money. It could be the head of Netflix. Is this the head of Netflix? Is this somebody that's like her boss, Meghan Markle's boss, that's going to give her a hard time? Mm, yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, maybe they're pulling back on money. They can't have as much as they want. Um, Maybe establishing boundaries with the money. So it's all financial related, but it looks pretty good to me. I wish that Jupiter was not retrograde in the 12th, though. That's kind of like Harry's in jail. Harry is not being seen. So I don't know why, but he's definitely helping her out and helping along with the contract, the job contract. So can you give us a general couple of cards, some kind of profile for Meghan Markle's overall career as a lifestyle influencer? How is it going to go for Meghan? Okay. Oh, okay. Six of Wands. Something's going to interrupt it. Something's going to interrupt it. I bet you it's another responsibility. She definitely has, and you notice that card that I put on the show thumbnail, that came out as far as like rejection of some sort. So she's going to be getting some kind of rejection with this project. I think the charts look overall good, except for the fact that we had that 28 degrees in Aries. This looks like it's kind of at the end of something. It might just be a chapter in her book, but can you give us a clarifier on this Six of Wands when it comes to Meghan's purpose, her life purpose as a lifestyle entrepreneur? That's what she prefers to be called. Whoa. I wonder what is going on here. So that could potentially be what we're seeing with that T square with Pluto and Black Moon Lilith. Somebody, this is she's trying to be a this is what I think. I think she's supposed to be a royal. I mean, she's got the North Node in Leo. This is where you're supposed to be going. You are supposed to be a duchess. She really is supposed to be a diplomat, kind of the socialite, the global type of influencer. And right now, she's kind of being pushed in this direction because she wants a stable family life. She doesn't want the drama or the toxicity. So that's why she's over in California. And she also has her friends there. So she's making a home for herself. But the tower, what do you think? Yeah. Oh, Harry's perhaps staying in the background so Meghan can shine in her new project, especially after the way the press reacted to them at the Invictus Games. Sadly, I know. Could she change from Netflix to Hulu or something similar? Yes, I think that's possible. Will Meghan change from Netflix to another streaming platform? Will this be a bad contract for her? Four of Cups. She's going to have too many options. She's going to have a lot of options. So that's possible. But one more question and then I'll go. And oh, by the way, if you guys are interested in a reading, definitely check out astrologywithval.as.me and see what kind of readings I have. I've got some new ones coming up in the next few days. So check them out. Always fun to look at your solar return and look at other charts like progress charts and transits and see what's going on. see what your prediction is. Okay, so the last question I have for Megan is will, oh, let me put these back in the deck. Hmm. Will her, will the royal family component interrupt Duchess Meghan's California career? No. But uh, it might affect her independence. It might affect her independence. That's a possibility. That's weird. It came up twice today. It's like California girl reversed. Can you give us a clarification on why we're getting this Tower card? What's happening with Meghan Markle's career as a Netflix star? So this could be a partnership. That's the second time I got a partnership card come up. So there's a possibility that she's going to have to change a partner. Let's hope it's not for any other reason, but I don't think so. Can you ask if President Trump will what? You're gonna have to be specific. Jen, I think she has the film, which is in production, last project. Okay. Yeah. So President Trump. That it's amazing how Trump's solar return chart and Putin's it's all over the place. And you can see it's like go, stop, tariffs, no tariffs, pause, go. So I don't know. I don't know what I can ask something about President Trump. Will President Trump be successful in the next 6 months on something major that's going to make major positive news that everybody's like, oh my God, we don't have to pay any taxes ever again and forget the IRS bill? Something like that. It's not going to happen. But will Trump do something really positive that everyone loves in the next 6 months? Well, the answer is no. And can we get a clarifier card on that? Why is it no? Why? Because this is about the family. The 10 of Cups is the luckiest card in the deck. And it's reversed, which means that it's not lucky. It's an unlucky family. I know. Oh dear, my God. Clarifier card on Trump's next 6 months and why we're getting this card when asking about a positive piece of news that everybody's going to be excited about. Strength. It's a strength card. So that is it is a female. I hope it's not another scandal, but something about maybe the Royals. Maybe the Royals. It's also about playing golf. It's more focused on playing golf, but families, strength. Maybe just showing strength right now. Maybe it's not really focused on giving anybody any benefits. So, but let's do one more clarifier card. What will Trump do in a positive way? I'm going to keep these here. I should stop asking this question. For the next 6 months, what will President Trump do that people are going to be thrilled about? Look how positive I am. Oh, he's going to go to a Taylor Swift concert. It looks like there is a celebration of some sort. So somebody's celebrating something. This could be a concert or something. A concert, having fun. There's lots of fire in these cards. Isn't that weird? Oh, hey, toy. Oh, a Trump family scandal. Maybe something about the family is happening. Hopefully not. This could be somebody coming out and talking, and maybe everybody's just focused on that person. Can you tell us a little bit more about the Six of Wands? Why am I getting Six of Wands for the next 6 months for Trump? Is this something about his work? Page of Cups. Oh, well, could be. That's my Baron card. So maybe he's just maybe they're just celebrating a lot of things as a family, and everyone else is like, well, it's nice that you're celebrating. Yes, the fire, the red in the cards. I noticed that too. All right. Well, I'm going to be back on. We're going to talk about this intense stellium that's happening right now. It's going to get a little bit more intense over the next week or two. So I wanted to look at these charts, these weather charts again, and just talk about what could potentially be coming up. You think, Baron? Yeah, maybe it's, oh God, I hope not. Is it going to be another Elon Musk? Let's hope not. All right. Yeah. So I hope you guys can join me tonight, and I'll be on 9 p.m. Eastern. So, and that it's March 5th, Wednesday. So thanks to the replay crew as well, watching this after the live. And hopefully you guys got a little bit of insight on what a job chart is. And I'll see you later.